Hi again, first grade students. So our next grammar lesson is page 57. I provided you with page 57. And at the top, it'll say chapter 26, lesson 3, practice 3. I'll go ahead and just read the directions right now. Put each group of words in alphabetical order. Write numbers in the blanks to show the order in each column. So before we actually begin this section, we can go ahead and look at our reference book. In your reference book, on page 25, at the top, it shows a little bit more about how to do alphabetical. Again, it says put each group of numbers in alphabetical order. Use numbers to show the order in each column. So alphabetical, I'm pretty sure you kids know what that means. You can go through the whole alphabet from A to Z. We have 26 letters in our English alphabet. And when you're doing this, if it's helpful, maybe you can get a strip of the letters of the alphabet in order, or you can sing the song to yourself in order. And then when you come up with the first letter that you say will be ahead of the other word alphabetically. For example, here they have the words rabbit and donkey. And if I were saying the song to myself, pretend you don't see those numbers there. I would say R is what this word begins with. D is what this word begins with. So I'm going to say the alphabet in a song, and then if I hit R first, that's going to be the first word alphabetically. If I hit D first, that will be the first word. A, B, C, D. Oh, D. I said D before I said R. So D, between these two, donkey is first, and then rabbit is second. Sometimes when it gets a little tougher, when the first letter is the same, like over here, light and leg both begin with the letter L. So wait, if you recall, early in the school year, I taught you what you do then is you go to the second letter. You kind of ignore that first letter now because that's not going to help you figure out which is first or second alphabetically. So we're going to go to the second letters. Here, light, the second letter is I, and in leg, the second letter is E. Again, you can go through the alphabet on a piece of paper, or you can sing the song. Since these are vowels, we could also do our vowels in order alphabetically. Let's do that. A, E. Oh, I already see that we hit the vowel E before we hit the vowel I. So in this case, leg comes before light alphabetically. Leg is number 1, light is number 2. I know a lot of you kids already know this. So go ahead, and these are on back to page 57. Oh, something in my eye. It's columns of 3. Let's see. Ooh, this middle one's going to be a little tricky because it has all begin with the letters D. But just remember, oh, and a couple of them, even the second letter is the same. So you're going to have to go to the third letter to find out between these two which goes first. And I bet you could do that. I want you to try that on your own. Oh, and I do want you, I think I wrote an example on here for you kiddos. They also want you to write the letters in each group below in alphabetical order. So this first group, our letters are L, H, R, C. You could do the song again if you'd like, if that would help you. After a while, you'll just memorize. You don't have to do a song or look at a list. You'll get to a point where it just is automatic. Let's go ahead and see which letter of the alphabet comes first alphabetically between these four? A, B, C. Oh, we have a C. So that's our first letter. I'm going to write C there, put a comma, cross off the C. D, E, F, G, H. Oh, we do have an H. H is going to be our next one, alphabetically. All right, cross off H over there. So now we just have L and R. We cross off as we go, kids. It's easier to keep track of the rest. I, J, K, L. Oh, L is going to be our next letter. Cross off L. And you could sing the rest of the alphabet if you'd like. Or just go ahead and put R is going to be our last one. You're going to do the same here. There are 6 letters in that one. It'll be a little more challenging, but do as I do here. Write the letter, comma, cross off the one you just did, and so on. And all these are also alphabetical lessons, kiddos. Just like you did up here. You're just going to put them in alphabetical order. These come in groups of 2. These come in groups of 3. They're really pretty fun. On the back, I left it optional, but it is more of these. Oh, I think I did have, actually, I'm putting 58 optional. I believe I assigned perhaps the first one. The first one, I'd love for you kids to do that if you can. To understand how to do it, I would have you go to your reference book. Back to the same page we were at, page 25. This time it'd be reference 32 we're looking at. Let's go ahead and read. It says, fiction section. Fiction books contain stories about people, places, or things that are not true. So anything that's like, it doesn't even just have to be fantasy or science fiction. It can be, there's a lot of books that I've read to you that are fiction. All right, let's see what nonfiction is. Nonfiction books contain information and stories that are true. Those are my favorite type of books, actually. I love reading history and religion and health and technology and geography. So that you're going to find nonfiction books in a different part than fiction in libraries. There's also reference section for reference books. Let's read that too. The reference section is designed to help you find information on many topics. The most common reference books are the dictionary and the encyclopedia. So you kids, we've talked about those in class. Dictionary, of course, are books that tell about words, how they're spelled, what kind of word they are, how they're pronounced, sometimes where they came from originally. And then encyclopedias have lots of wonderful information about science and history and all kinds of wonderful things. So those are the main parts of a library. And I think I told you kids, I worked at a public library for almost 9 years when we lived in Oregon, and I absolutely loved it. Libraries are really amazing places. Public libraries are paid by taxpayers, and they're really worth it. Anyway, so I would like to see you kids try to answer these. It says non-fiction books contain information and stories that are, and your choices are true or not true. And we just kind of went through a lot, so go ahead and feel free to refer right back to your reference section again, and I'll help you with that first one though. Nonfiction books contain information that is true, that are true. Go ahead and try these other two on your own, and I'd love to see you do that whole page. I assigned you also it's going to be actually your final test of the year. It's on page 79. At the top it says Chapter 26 Test, page 79. And in the previous video, I just classified a sentence with you, went over all the different sections, or all the different types of words that show up in these. And I'd really like you to try to do these on your own. You can also look at your reference book. There might be some there are some sections that can help you. Look at the abbreviations you will use. Remember to chop the sentence between the subject part and the predicate part. Do your best. So this is the first time on a test though that you will alphabetize letters, but we just talked about that and how you do it. And then this is also the first time you have a test where you're going to alphabetize groups of words. So giraffe, monkey, elephant, tiger. Of course, you're going to go through and think to yourself, which comes first, T, E, M, or G? You can go A, B, C, D, E. Elephant would come first alphabetically, so I would put number 1, F, G. Oh, 2 is alphabetical, so giraffe would be our second one. H, I, J, K, L, M. Oh, monkey begins with with M. So that would be third, and then obviously tiger would be last. Go ahead and sing through the alphabet though. Make sure that you get it right. That's always good. As usual, if you'd like, you may complete the back side too. That is, this is actually the final test, test 26 that you must do. But I'd love to see you try to do test 27. Also, if you need to review contractions, we learned those last week, and like I said, you kids did really well. But the contraction references, if you want to see them again, are on page 21. And that's reference 24 contractions. And then on the next page, which would be page 22 at the top, we have some more contractions that they split up for you and then squeeze back together into contractions. So that is all I am going to go over with you kids. It's just those. I'm sure you'll do fine. You kids really have done well. You know, despite the fact our school year was disrupted, and you know, you kids really have amazing parents, and I'm just so impressed. And you've worked hard. They've worked hard. So I will see you on May 29th, or I am going to go ahead and read the rest of Dragons of Blue Land. Feel free to watch some of those when your parents say that it's okay. Okay? Really miss you, kiddos, but I will see you on Friday, May 29th for the last day of school. Bye.